Hi, welcome to Wednesday. I understand that I had the volume was a little bit down yesterday, and so I think I've got that figured out. I'm going to keep checking it every time I do this to keep it up to where it should be. And I'm sorry about that. Today we're going to be looking at 1 Kings chapter 11, and it's just this one verse. And the Lord raised up Hadad, the Edomite, a member of Edom's royal family, to be Solomon's adversary. So, God is raising up an Edomite. That they're a kind of a relation to the Jews. The Edomites are, and he had actually gone down gone away from the Edom because he was in trouble and went to Egypt. And Hadad did, and he married part of the royal family in Egypt, part of the Pharaoh's family, and now he's coming back, and it says that the Lord raised up Hadad, so he brought Hadad forward. God's kind of in control here, isn't he? And that kind of informs us about something, the people that come into our life that bother us. Is that God raising them up in our life and making a point? Well, I think it really could be. At least we have a lot to learn from our adversaries. Too bad Solomon didn't learn from Hadad that he should have been following God and not other gods. I'm reminded of a Chronicles of Narnia story. It's the first book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where there's this one kid that colludes with the enemy, the White Witch. She's the devil figure in the book. And Aslan, who is the lion, who is the Christ figure, offers his life up for Edmund's, for this kid's life who had been a traitor. And so then the White Witch, she thinks she's got it because she's going to kill Aslan on this stone table. And she does, and strips the lion of his royal mane, and they make fun of him, and then they kill him, and then they go away. And there's these girls are watching from a distance, and they come up and they see Aslan dead. All of a sudden, the stone tablet breaks, and after a while, Aslan comes out. He's alive. He's risen from the dead. And Aslan says that she, the White Witch, knew the magic, that's what they call like the scriptural part of this book, but she didn't know the deep magic, that when an innocent person gave his life for another, time, I love this line, time goes backwards. It goes backwards. And that suddenly things that are dead start coming alive. It's a great way to look at the resurrection, isn't it? So here the White Witch is, Hadad, the Edomite, who has come and thinks that they're in charge and thinks that she's controlling things and thinks that she's getting rid of her greatest adversary. But in reality, God has a much bigger picture and a much more powerful way to deal with things. And the devil, same thing. When he had Jesus on the cross, thought he had everything to himself and didn't realize that it was just the beginning of God's victory over this world. Later on in Luke 22:31, there's a weird verse in there where it says Jesus is giving his last instructions to his disciples, and that he has been praying for Peter. Jesus tells Peter at the Last Supper that he has agreed to allow Satan to sift him. It's an odd word, for the purpose of revealing his strength at a greater depth. Sift him for the purpose of revealing a greater strength at his depth. Sifting is to test him, to challenge him. And it's interesting, Jesus is praying for him, that Satan, and he's praying. There's this kind of, Satan is being allowed to do something by God with Peter, but it's all going to be for Peter's strengthening, not his weakening. And you know the story about Peter. He denies Jesus 3 times, but then he comes back and he confesses to Jesus, the resurrected Jesus, his sin, and comes back even stronger than ever before and is one of the great disciples of all time, the leader of the church. So this sifting, this testing, caused Peter to be stronger. Too bad it didn't do that for Solomon. He ended up being weaker and weaker, and the nation of Israel became weaker and weaker. But, be looking for that in your own life, that sometimes the challenges that come to us that are so hard and so difficult are really God's sifting, challenging us so that we'll be ready for something in the future. I know that's been true in my life, and I think as you get older, you see it more and more. But it's also true in your life. So don't always look at these, I call them a sermon, these strangely wrapped gifts that come into our lives that don't look anything like God. It might actually indeed be from God and may be for our benefit, even though they can be very, very hard. Well, God bless. Have a great day, and take care.